What is up, Bodyweight Muscle Dads? In today's video, we'll be covering the top 3 mistakes that hold you back from achieving your fitness goals with calisthenics. These are things that I've observed the last year after almost solely coaching family men like you. So buckle up and check them out. By the way, if you'd like me to make more of this kind of content, then it would be super helpful if you just took 2 to 3 minutes to fill in the form that you'll find in the top comment below. That way, I create even more and better of this kind of content. Plus, in return, I'll also send you my top 10 recipes that I give to dads who want to build muscle, burn fat, and streamline their nutrition. That being said, that was my fastest I could go. Back to today's topic. Mistake number 1 is that dads do a horrible job at warming up. I do get it. You've got a limited amount of time to get it in. You're juggling a ton of stuff. You've got to take the kids to school. You're trying to help out at home. You've got a demanding job. You've got all these balls in the air. So when you have that very little amount of time to work out, you try to make the best of it. That means usually rushing through your warm-up or even neglecting it. Another way that I feel dads tend to justify this is by thinking that I'm just doing calisthenics. It's not like I'm lifting heavy weights. Therefore, I don't need to warm up that much. But that's a very wrong mindset, because as I like to explain, jumping on a pull-up bar and starting to knock out reps is more or less the same with stepping into a gym, getting on a lat down machine and starting to pull reps with 200 pounds. Not something a reasonable person would do without warming up. So again, calisthenics are not as innocent as most people like to think. You do need to warm up. I know that you guys don't like to hear this so much, but unless you first of all master your warm-up, there's no reason to do anything else. This is actually the first thing that I teach to dads that I coach. So make sure that you first of all have a proper warm-up in place before you get started. I'll include some examples below. Mistake number 2 is the no pain, no gain mindset. Most busy dads think that unless you're training like Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV, unless you're destroying yourself in each workout, unless your shirt is soaking wet from sweat, you're not really getting anything done. Again, I understand, once you find that time to work out, you might be feeling like you have a lot of stress pent up. You do enjoy blowing off steam and training as hard as possible. But when that's the only way you know how to train, it eventually ends up depleting you. Again, I'm not saying that you can't train hard, especially if you're smart and strategic about it. But if that's the only option in your head, especially if you haven't done anything, let's say for a few weeks or months, and you get into that first workout with that all or nothing mindset, it will eventually do you more bad than good. Another very common example why the black or white mindset never works out in the long run is, I see this often. Guys have these streaks of great workouts. Maybe you've got a week or 2 where you're sleeping perfectly and, your workouts feel good. You're training super hardcore and you're also enjoying that, it feels fulfilling. But then suddenly things go sideways. Your kids are having sleeping problems, which means you are also not sleeping. You've got that extra stress from work. You've got all kinds of, things that are going sideways. And when it comes time to work out, you feel depleted. And therefore, because the only option in your head is, that you're either gonna train super hardcore or otherwise it's not worth it, that leaves you paralyzed. So you skip that workout. That's option, that's scenario number 1. The other scenario is that you do train, even though you are feeling completely depleted, and that leaves you either wrecked the next day, or even worse, you get injured, which again means that you're not training the next day. So, you miss one workout, that one workout becomes a missed workout week, and eventually you just fall off the wagon just because you were super stuck into that or nothing mindset when you could have just gotten a short dynamic workout in and everything would be completely fine. Mistake number 3 is trying to out-train a bad diet. Maybe that worked in your early 20s, but as you're growing older, and especially once you become a dad, where all kinds of other things are compromised, things such as your sleep, your recovery rates, there are higher stress levels in your life, higher cortisol in your body. So, when you're on top of that, trying to out-train a bad diet, that's never going to end up well. And there's no better training system to make that apparent than calisthenics, because you might be able to lift more weight on a barbell as you're getting fatter, but the moment you try to do that by hopping on a bar and starting to do pull-ups, your body will tell you that that extra weight is nothing more than an anchor. Now, the worst way to burn fat, to get rid of excessive weight as a dad, is to get on any kind of aggressively restrictive diet. So, any fad diet, anything basically that is extreme. The reason for that has to do with a term in psychology called reactive eating, which in simple terms means that when you restrict yourself too much while dieting, it simply backfires and leads to the opposite result. You are already having so many restrictions in your life as a busy dad. This is why this is even worse for you guys. Having tried all those extreme diets out there myself, having done all kinds of nutritional certifications, what I've realized is that setting up a proper nutritional plan, especially when it comes to you guys, family men, it's all about sticking to some basic nutritional principles. For example, having the healthy things available to you in your home and getting rid of the unhealthy things. It's about prioritizing protein over carbs, about drinking 2 big glasses of water before you try to quench your thirst with soda. It's about snacking on fruits instead of candy bars and donuts. It's about eating slow, eating mindfully so you can stop and feel full, not stuffed, and all kinds of basic practices like these. Now, I do get it that for the stressed out dad, the fat diet, the shortcut usually looks like the only option, but that is not the case. This is where a good coach, a good nutritionist can step in and help you make the right choices. That was all for today. If you want me to make more videos on this topic, on fitness tips and calisthenics for you guys, for dads, leave a comment below, or even better, please fill in the form that you find in the top pinned comment below. By answering just a few easy questions, you'll give me more clarity on how I can help you guys and how I can create better type of videos for you. And in return, I'll be giving you my top 10 recipes. These are easy, basically meals to prep for building muscle, getting rid of fat, and streamlining your nutrition. And until next time, keep on training.